Hey, Randy, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Very good, thank you.
Good. Hopefully you're having a good afternoon. We're gonna record this and I'll play it
Okay.
back tomorrow at noon. Your solo album's coming out November 15th. It's called Back to Me. How excited are you for this?
I'm actually really, really stoked. It's been something I've been a work in progress for the past 5 years, and because of the requests of the fans that have been so great for Backstreet Boys, not only on group stuff but also requesting to hear us what we sound like individually, and it's great to have so much love that we've been given from this amazing fan base of ours. And I'm just very proud of this record that I took my time to make, and I feel like it's a great representation of me, first time outside of the box.
See, and that's different because I thought for sure someone said, like, I'd heard years ago that you were going to be working on an album, but nothing ever materialized. So I was wondering, where did he get time to record an album and write an album with everything that's been going on?
Yeah, that's why it took me 5 years, unfortunately. Backstreet Boys have kept me quite busy, and it's been a good thing. I'm actually, really blessed to have the opportunity to be in the group, the Backstreet Boys, and it's been an unbelievable roller coaster ride that we've been on. And so I've been actually working on it in between legs of recording the records and touring. But that is a reason why it's taken a process. And actually, as well, even a lot of it was even my own decision on timing. Because when I first started making this record, it was a little bit more of a Latin direction.
Right.
And then over the years, I've kind of brought it a little bit more to the pop, Euro dance kind of, almost similar to the sounds of Backstreet Boys.
Looking at the first single 100 and the 1,000,001 remixes of that, wasn't really expecting Howie to come up with like that. Like, the remixes are not saying that you're not a fun guy. I mean, you're awesome, but but they're very different. Now, do you see it as a different part of you, or is it just one part of you?
I mean, I think it's a combination of both. I mean, I think I've being in Backstreet Boys, we have, kind of like a signature sound, but, it's also a accumulation of all 5 of our different personalities and music interests. And, this for me, when I started making this record, especially in the last year and a half, and it kind of went a little bit more in that Euro dance feel, it's because that's what I was really, really feeling at the time. And I've always actually loved, dance music, where I can get up and dance or get ready to go out to the clubs, stuff that gets me excited. And hearing music like Teo Cruz and Usher and Black Eyed Peas and David Guetta, just definitely even inspired me even more to make it in this direction.
Right, and those songs are bringing that dance-like thing to the mainstream, and
exactly.
some of us DJs are shaking our booties in between songs. It's kind of weird. Though I'm putting mine on lockdown. All right, so your second single is more of a Backstreet feel, I would say. Lie to Me, which I immediately heard, and I was like, oh my God. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
It's like a ballad, but it still has that mid-tempo feel to it, and it's deep. I like that.
Thank you.
And it seems...
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more of the signature sound that probably like the fans of Backstreet Boys will recognize me. And, I guess it's kind of like I've been told in the past I have a little bit of this kind of like sultry, soulful voice. This kind of has a little bit of that pop rock edge that, people might recognize from like the Never Gone record where we had Incomplete and a couple of those other songs.
Right.
But it's something that, like I said, I didn't want to venture too far away from, what people know me of as well. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that, the mid-tempos and the ballads definitely still had a feel of what people recognize me from the Backstreet Boys.
Right. And since, I guess over the last week, you've been, letting loose little snippets on your Facebook and your Twitter pages. And one, like, kind of lassoed me in for sure. Like, I loved Lie to Me initially, like, just from the get-go. Is it Sleepwalking?
Uh-huh.
That one is ridiculous. I love that song.
Oh, thank you.
That seems a little bit more
that.
on the pop R&B that you guys like used to do. So you're like coming from every angle. What's up with that?
Yeah, I know. I got a lot of mixture of influences in me, and but it goes back from just where I started in my musical tastes. I grew up listening to a lot of R&B music. Definitely. Like the music of like Boys to Men and Shy and Jodeci, especially when we first started with Backstreet Boys.
Right.
And but like I say, I also have that side of me that definitely loves the the up tempo Euro kind of like pop feel that's really becoming big here in the States. And I definitely have some of my ballads that are more of like mainstream kind of sound.
Right.
But yeah, it's I think that's one thing about Backstreet Boys is that when you listen back to some of our sounds, we have songs that could cross over in many different genres. Even some of our songs could almost even be country, like Drowning. And Incomplete, and
right.
A couple of these other songs. And we definitely even, back in the earlier days, we had some songs like I'll Never Break Your Heart,
mm-hmm.
and a couple of these other songs that are definitely, R&B ballads. At the same time, we had our Euro sound that we got created from Max Martin. So I think it's just a continuation of, my interests, and not being like, put in just into like a pigeonhole of this is exactly what Howie D is. This only this one direction.
Right. A few years ago, I was running a station in Maryland, and it was an urban AC station, and all of a sudden passed down to us was "If You Stay." Well,
yeah.
It was PM Dawn, and then it was your vocals from
Yep.
I know the song and I've rocked out to the song for years, but to have my music director say, "Oh my God, this stuff is amazing," and I'm like, "Oh, I know this."
Yeah, exactly. We had that song on the Booty Call soundtrack.
Absolutely.
And it's it's definitely I think a little bit of a shocker for people to hear us because most of our main our biggest songs were more of that Euro melodies, kind of like pops, pretty much straight up pop songs. But when people get a chance to hear "If You Stay," like I said, and "I'll Never Break Your Heart," they really get a chance to see what other the extra boundaries we're able to push.
Right. Now on Back to Me, sorry to jump around.
No,
did you write it, or how much did you write? How little did you write? And what's your inspiration to do it? Because I know you've written
mm-hmm.
songs before.
Definitely. Yeah, actually, I'm very proud to say I co-wrote about 2/3 of this record.
What?
And I'm very, very excited to have been able to work with some great writers and producers that allowed me to pretty much come in and roll up my sleeves and give a lot of input. But, at the same time, I definitely accepted some great songs like "Lie to Me" and "100," which were songs that I didn't write, but I just loved them so much that I just felt like I had to have them on my record.
Right.
And that's one thing I think it's always been something that can be said for Backstreet Boys. We've never been one of those kind of groups that were like, okay, we have to write everything and nothing comes from anybody else. We've always been open-minded and realizing that a hit song can come from anywhere.
Exactly. That's so true. And in fact, one song that I know was written by you years and years ago, "How Did I Fall in Love with You," is one of my favorite songs.
Thank you.
People don't usually bring that up, but I was a teenager, and
thank you.
and my
That's
best
awesome.
friend and I. Anyway, so I see you're going to do a StageIt.com show, which is I see a lot of country artists doing those, and it's run
mm-hmm.
by one of the twins from Evan and Jaron, right? Evan?
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I find out these things just because I get bored.
Good for you.
I know you're doing one of the StageIt.com shows, but are we going to get a Howie D solo tour?
I am actually definitely in the works on trying to make that happen. In between Backstreet Boys legs, New Kids on the Block legs, of touring and everything, I'm definitely, keeping myself busy. There's no rest coming over on my side of the table. So, I'm excited, though. I mean, I have a lot of things going on that I'm trying to, do some touring in the United States as well as internationally. I'm getting ready to go over to Japan in a couple weeks to release the album there and do some promotion there, and then after that, straight to Canada. And actually, right before that, the end of this month, I'm going to be going to Canada to shoot my video for "Lie to Me."
Oh.
And but like I say, definitely, if it's not by the end of this year, by early next year, looking forward to getting a tour, hopefully all around the world, wherever it's the demand's there. And I'm just excited about it. It's something that I feel really excited to be this different journey that I'm on, and it's a challenge to just be able to do something that is a little bit different than the norm from what people know me of.
And it's always good to be busy, for sure.
Oh yeah, I love being busy.
Now
I think I get I get too bored. Next thing you know, I'm climbing the walls around here.
Another Backstreet song. Did you catch that one?
No pun intended.
So you snuck something in there that I was going to ask anyway. You said in between New Kids Tour and Backstreet Tour, are you guys going to go out with New Kids on the Block again?